I got, as my bonus feature the first time around, a horrible, agonizing, debilitating UTI. That was a particularly female ooh, if you don't mind me saying so. Listen, I hear you, my sisters. I had no idea. I apologize. I'm here for you, ladies. I'm so sorry. I did not know. I had no idea. Cranberry juice. Cranberry juice. Unbelievable. If you don't know what a UTI is, you're probably a dude. UTI stands for urinary tract infection. Oh, really, Greg? I thought only ladies got a UTI. No! Anyone that's got a UT can get an I. Greg, are you saying you didn't clean your vagina correctly? No, I did. I did clean it correctly. And anyway, that's not how you get it, you fucking asshole! I'm here and I apologize, ladies. I apologize. I had no idea. It was bad. I mean, it was so bad. I was sweating and horrible with the COVID and my penis was on fire. I was like, it was like the 1980s all over again. I swear to God, the only relief I could get, I swear, was putting my penis in a glass of cold water. It's like, I could never go back to that Denny's. Just some pancakes, please, just some pancakes. It was really bad. And I was in Scotland when I got it. I was in Scotland, so I couldn't even see my regular doctor. Don't get me wrong, I love Scotland, but my doctor's in America. I apologize if I've offended any Scottish doctors who are here this evening. I know there's no Scottish doctors here. Nobody's smoking. I was in Scotland. I don't have a doctor there. I started phoning around trying to find a doctor. I was phoning different offices, couldn't get anyone. Eventually, I talked to a woman on the phone, and she said she was a doctor's receptionist. But looking back on it now, I realize she's probably a witch. You shall not talk to the doctor until you answer my questions 3. Did you wash your groceries? Did you stuff toilet paper in your ass? It was all of that. She kept questioning. Eventually, I said, look, you've got to listen to me. I'm in bad shape here. I said this is true. I said, look, it's not just the COVID. I've also got a very inflamed penis. And I swear this is what she said. She went, any more of that talk and I'm hanging up. But I managed to persuade her I was sick. So she said, all right, you sound like you're quite sick. The doctor will see you first thing Monday morning. This was Friday night. I said, it's Friday night. I could be dead by Monday morning. She said, well, you should have washed your groceries. And hung up. The whole weekend, I was in this flat in Glasgow, in this apartment in Glasgow, and I was sweating and dying. I was like, oh, my God. And about 4 o'clock in the morning on the Saturday, I swear this is true, I was standing in the bathroom naked, with my penis in a glass of cold water. And my penis was very distressed. It was like, I was like, quiet, Snorky, it's all right, boy. That's right, Snorky. I said, quiet, Snorky, quiet, it's all right, boy. I was really bad, but here's the thing. I swear this is true. I was sweating, I was like delirious with a fever. The fever wouldn't go away, and I was standing with my penis in a glass of cold water, and I started to kind of hallucinate in this odd way. And I heard a voice. Well, it wasn't really a voice, it was my voice. And it said a thing, and I went, wow, you're a very sick man, Craig Ferguson. Because it came into my head, this voice, and I swear this is what it said. It went, if I live through this, I'm going to put it in the act. Turning adversity into gold. So I went to see the doctor first thing Monday morning, and it was a bit tricky because the doctor was a Scottish Protestant lady doctor, and I'm a Scottish Protestant man patient, so things are a little tense anyway. And she said, I talked to her about the COVID, and I said, I've got COVID. She went, okay. And then she could tell there was something else wrong, and she said, what is it? I said, it's my penis, doctor. And I swear she did this. She went, oh, great. She went, all right, we better have a look at it. So I got up on the table, and I took down my pants, and I swear she did this. She went, oh, that is very unpleasant. Oh. 10 points off Slytherin. She got a little tongue depressor thing and she moved it. She moved it and she went, oh, it looks like a snail with leprosy. I said, am I gonna die? She said, no, you're not gonna die. It's a UTI, you big baby. I'll give you some antibiotics and it'll clear right up. I said, what about the COVID? Am I gonna die from that? She said, I don't know. That obviously I was fine. I'm sorry to the young people for talking about my illnesses. Sorry, everybody. But I've reached that age. When I was young, my stories were great. It was like, yeah, we took some Patagonian acid, we stole the space shuttle and drove it to Hooters. Now my stories are just, well, it turns out I had an infection in my pee-pee hole. Looked like a snail with leprosy. Nobody tells you that about getting older either. Your mouth just falls open all the time. You don't even know. I caught myself at a stoplight the other day just... Anyway, sorry about talking about my illnesses. I won't do it again. The second time I got COVID, the bonus feature was very strange indeed. It wasn't anything to do with my pee-pee, thank goodness. It was I got something as my bonus feature, something called, and maybe medical professionals may know it, a chalazion. Do you know what that is? No, I didn't know either. I thought it sounded adorable. A chalazion? Well, that's lovely. It sounds like a leprechaun's walking stick or something. Touch me, chalazion, and I'll give yous a pot of gold. This is how leprechauns walk, apparently. I'm sorry for walking like this. I've got a UTI. Anyway, a chalazion is a horrible, very unpleasant eye infection. It looks like a sty, but it's not a sty. It's very different. And I was like, and I was in Scotland again when I got COVID again. Just saying. And I had to go and see the same doctor that I'd looked at my pee-pee at the previous thing. And I went in and she looked at my eye and she went, it was bad, it was all swollen. She went, oh, what's that? I went, I don't know. Hence my visit to you, doctor. She went, it looks like a sty. I went, yeah, I thought it might be that. She went, okay. She said, I better have another look at your penis just in case. I said, no, forget it. You had your chance, doctor. That's the stupidest thing I've said so far. You've had your chance. All right, shut up. Anyway, she said, it looks like a sty. I went, okay. She went, okay, it's a bad one though. I said, I know. She said, okay, I'll give you a course of antibiotics. I'll take care of it. I went, okay. So I start taking this course of antibiotics. And I leave Scotland, I come back to America, and I go to Los Angeles, and my eye's not getting better, it's getting worse. And it's getting worse and worse, so I go and see my American doctor, and I walked in, and at this point, my eye's like a baboon's anus on my face. I walk in, and he looks at it, and he goes, oh, wow, what's that? I don't know. He went, yeah, looks like a sty. I went, yeah, I know, that's what we thought. He went, okay. I'm gonna give you a course of antibiotics. I said, I took antibiotics in Scotland and they didn't work. And he went, mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you some American antibiotics. American antibiotics will kill your motherfucking eye. American antibiotics will take away that sty. American antibiotics when you are feeling rough. American antibiotics built Ford tough. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, give me some of those American antibiotics. He went, okay, and he ordered them, and the American antibiotics arrived in a monster truck. They came in a monster truck, and it was being driven by Chuck Norris. And Chuck Norris jumped out of the monster truck, and he landed in front of me. He opened his pants, and a bald eagle flew out of his pants and circled my head and dropped the American antibiotics into my mouth, and I felt them tingle to every one of my red, white, and blue veins. And they didn't work.